Hi guys, we've just got our first UV resin in. This is the Nitro-Rez UV and I'm just doing a couple of little experiments with it. With this one, I've cut out a triangle. It's very roughly, no skill going into this because I actually have none. I'm doing this sort of intuitively. So that, it's a very low gassing formula, so I don't expect to have any problems with air bubbles per se. Now they do say that if you do happen to have an air bubble that you don't like, that you can torch it. And I saw that on a video somewhere, but excuse me, I wouldn't torch it on this elf. This elf is an aluminized cellulose film, so it would react exactly the same way as a fine plastic. Sorry, I should explain myself. I've tried cutting tiny little shards out of the elf because I have this thing in my mind, and we know what it's like when you have a thing, you've got to get it out of your system. So that's what I'm doing. At the same time, we'll just see how this performs. I'm just dropping it into that layer of the Nitro-Rez that I put down. Getting more out. I really don't know how far I should go with this. I wish I had a little bit more dexterity to sort of crisscross it. There's some there that are a bit thick. I'm going to try to avoid the wide ones because I'm searching for little pieces that I expect will throw off light in a more dramatic way if they're not flat. So the thicker they are, the more likely they are to flatten right down. My hypothesis is that the thinner they are, and the more there are, the more edges there's going to be to catch glints of light, not just a smooth light. And I think this could be a walking sparkle, but let's just see. Now, I'm struggling with these old fingers. I've got a few pieces in there that are too fat. So I just have to go with that. I'm searching around the paper for any bits that look fine like hair because I believe they will be the best pieces. Okay, I'm risking getting very sticky too here. Come on, excuse me talking to my products. I do it. So this is really exciting. This stuff comes in the bottle ready mixed. I don't know if you can see that. I hope you can see that. It's ready mixed. So you don't have to do any measuring, all the stuff that you do with traditional epoxy resin, which I don't mind, but this has got that instant gratification factor which sounds really attractive to me. Now I've been fiddling around so much that I've let it come off the edges, and I'm afraid that's probably how it's going to be for me until I sort of get the feel for this. So I'm just going to pick it up on my trusty little fingernail sample things here, because they make awesome tools. And I'm going to hit it with the UV torch. I prefer this to the lamp because you get a more focused directed blast of 100 lumens, 100 little, no, I'm sorry, I'm telling lies. It's 51. I have used one with 100 for another purpose. But this concentrates all the light that you need into one hit instead of it being spread out in a lamp like they use for the nails. Now I know that the UV lights do actually heat things up, because I've had my fingernails under them with my daughter doing something with the bigger UV light. And if you're not careful, you can get a burn. Now I want to be particularly careful with the e.l.f. because, as I started to say, it's actually an aluminized cellulose film. So that's like a really, really fine plastic, so to speak. So it will be affected by heat. It definitely will. In fact, I can see it moving a little bit, and I can see what looks like a bit of a scorch mark starting. So it's only been a few seconds, but I'm going to have a feel. Oh, it's heated up quite a bit already. Perhaps I should just hold it still. That's probably going to be more sensible. But I'll have to try it every which way until I get a feel for it. Now I know that there's thousands of ways and things that we could be doing with this. This is just my first shot at something, and because I'm so obsessed with the e.l.f. right now, it was on the tip of my mind. Now I'm trying to concentrate on talking a little bit louder without shouting, so I hope you can hear me better this time. Okay, this is already, look how rigid it is. It's already hardened up a lot. I should actually have a little stopwatch or something going, but you know, I only think ahead after the first go. But then I suppose we're all a little like that. I hope I don't leave finger marks with all this touching. I really shouldn't be doing it, but you know, I'm one of these hands-on people, as you can see. Now this resin you can build up so that it's in a dome, or you can have it raised but relatively flat. It's something that you'll get the feel for only by using it and experimenting. Because even if you have the best instructions in the world, which you'll never get from me unfortunately, but with the best instructions in the world, it really is the practical experimentation that sets you on the right path. I'm going to actually turn this light off now. It feels really nice and rigid, and I'm going to cut the edges off there where I've accidentally gone over, and then I'm going to put another layer on and we'll just see how it looks. There we go. Oh my goodness, I can already see some lovely light happening. Yes, I've made a bit of a mess, as you do. So I'll just try to cut that. Oh, it's very soft. Well, that wasn't as hard as I expected. There we go. Don't know what you're seeing from there, but I haven't got great light here, but that's looking sort of pretty. I'm going to switch it to every angle I can to try to give the opportunity to see what's going on. So I'll put it back down. I've got it a little bit warped already, but I'll also work that out as time goes by. Now I'm going to try to put another layer on. I think that's probably a little bit thick actually, but you know, first go. And here you go with the light again. Oh, did you see that move? It's obviously the heat is doing something to the elf. Poor little elf, he's having a bit of a twitch there. I get that too. I don't know what you can see in the camera, but with what I can see here, I'd wear this. Little drill hole and little bail. It's not doing anything spectacular with colour, but from where I'm sitting it looks pretty. I'm getting a few little pink and green lines showing. But until I look at the video, I have no idea what you people can see. So how exciting is this, being able to do something like this, make little pendants, you know, do what we like in the little pendant, and have it ready not only in the same day, but sort of in the same session. The words instant gratification keep coming across my mouth because that's what it is. Sort of reminds me of the inks in a way. One of the things that was most attractive to me moving from acrylics into the inks was not just the flow, but that instant gratification. I could have something pretty to base whatever artwork I was going to do pretty immediately, because the inks are just such a beautiful, beautiful medium. The theory of this has the same attraction for me, but we need to see how it plays out in reality first. Now, I haven't timed this at all, and I haven't even been counting. Too busy nattering. So I'm going to go the traditional way and feel it. Okay, that feels pretty good, pretty stiff. Now, I do want to respect the sensitivity and how fragile the elf is. My temptation is to go down there close with this torch because I know it will cure it faster. But I also know that this elf is like a little baby's bottom. I have to take care of it, even though it's meaning a little bit of self-control. Okay, I'm going to put one more layer on it. I'm sure I needed to cure this for longer, but I also know how boring I become. So I'll put one more layer on it, and then I'll take it into a room with a decent light, and we'll see how it actually looks. So torch off, pick the bottle up, no mixing. How easy is that? Just the whole principle of it is so attractive to me. Okay, I just ran completely off the edges here. The difference going from having that UV light on to this room light is setting me up for failure a bit. I really need to have some decent light. I'm actually going to sit it on there. There we go. Now I know it will start curing immediately, which hopefully will cure the runoff, because it's like it petrifies things almost instantly. So I can also imagine that we're going to be able to do some 3D stuff a whole lot more successfully than we can with the other resin, because we have no choice but to wait for things to run off and settle down. Now the fact that you can sort of petrify these gives us the ability to do things on surfaces that we wouldn't otherwise be able to do. So, you know, it all remains to be seen exactly what we get to do, but there's obvious potential right there in that thought. Now, I'm trying to resist that urge to move around. I'm not a person to keep still. But there, this is why people have music playing behind their videos, and I would sing to you, but I think that could be a little bit damaging and you wouldn't ever want to see one of my videos again, so I'll keep that one to myself as well. Oh, I'm cooking it in the corner there. It's okay, this is a first go. We will work out ways to get around it. Oh, look at this tremble starting. It's one of those intention tremors just from trying to hold still. I might actually make myself a little stand for this torch, because I don't want to go with the lamps. I feel that the illumination that you get from the energy of those is just too soft for the purposes that I want to use it for. But there's no reason why I can't do like a test tube stand with a coat hanger. I think I've got the picture in my head. That'll just relieve my hand when I want to do these thicker ones. Really, I don't think there's any need to go this thickly. I just wanted to for the purpose of the exercise, and I've sort of partway cooked it to that fingernail blank. Let's have a feel. Oh, that actually feels really good already. I'm going to take the torch off it and we'll go to the other room and have a look. And by looking, we'll know where we have to adjust things. Okay, hang 5. Just got to unscrew the foam from this. Oh, one more. That wouldn't have been good. Okay. Now I'm going to turn the camera back to its natural way too.